So, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Blind Power. Today we're actually going to talk about how would your life change when or if you have a blind child. And my mom, who's been through it firsthand experience, is going to tell you about it.
Hi, yes, for me it's been great to have a blind child. It's been very different. Well, I wouldn't know the difference because I don't have a regular child and a blind child. But I'm going to talk to you today about what it is to have a blind child, how life changed for me. Well, Christian is amazing. He's a great person.
Thanks.
But when he was little, I didn't know anything about blindness. I've learned a lot in 24 years. And I had to start learning, like you start learning anything. So when he was born, the first thing is everything is different. The schools are different. Normally people put their children in the school behind their house. We had to look for a school for blind children, look for therapies. He didn't learn everything by himself. We had to go and get physical therapy, occupational therapy. In the park, he wouldn't play by himself. I had to play with him, and it was fun. It was really good. I had fun because I was very young and I could play with him in the park and swing with him in the swings and do everything. Noises hurt his ears so much. He hated noises. So in every birthday party, before everybody started singing happy birthday, I would have to either plug his ears with little foam earplugs or leave the party because he started screaming and crying. He didn't like that. So things changed. Things were very different. It was a learning experience. It was beautiful. What else, Christian? For you, I mean, having a blind son is like having a celebrity next to you because everybody's so fascinated and it's something different. And it's unique. Everybody wants to know.
Everybody's like, who is this person? This is a cane. What's a cane? You know, kids are like, oh, mommy, I want one, thinking it's like some kind of sword or something. You know, they don't realize what it is.
Or a toy, yes. So it's actually fun to teach others what blindness is. It's actually something beautiful, and that's something not the end of the world. Like, you know, for some people, they see blindness as something that is so bad, and you're in the unknown. We're in the unknown. Now what? You know, he's blind. You can't do anything. Everything is visual. Oh my God. And it's not like that.
No.
It's not like that at all. You learn how to do everything auditive, right?
Yeah, you find ways to compensate for your blindness, whether it's auditive, whether it's, you know, through Braille. And, you know, and that comes up in the living situation as well. Like, you know, you find ways to arrange your house and to make, you know, your home more blind friendly. I say that when you have a kid, you should blind proof your home. And you know, why don't you talk about that now? Like when I was a kid, like, you know, breaking stuff because it was on the edge and stuff like that.
Yes, you have to adapt when you have a blind child to somebody that can't see like you to get things out of the way. So just put things out of the way. Don't leave anything that breaks around. Well, all we need to do is find resources at home. Everything talked when Christian was little. The phone talked. We put Braille everywhere. We had Alexas surrounding the house to turn the lights on.
Braille labels.
Braille labels.
Definitely one of those things.
We put the JAWS program in the computer. We had Windows Eyes. We had every resource. The Division of Blind Services, thank God, and thank you to the Division of Blind Services Florida. They helped us get along through all this, providing us with all this equipment.
Definitely.
That was amazing. And you just look for things that are not visual and resources that are not visual, like auditive, tactile, the smell. Everything in our home was different.
Oh yes, definitely. And like one of the habits that I say that, you know, you should immediately change, like once, you know, your child starts growing enough to, you know, feel on top of the counter, you know, if you have usually homes have like a little area where you have like your, you know, dishes and they start piling up to the edge of the table, or something to the edge, and then you go and you start, and your child starts feeling the border. I do that sometimes. I'm not visually impaired, but visually impaired, we tend to do it really fast, like we're like a little hurricane, and then immediately, boom, you just knock something over because it's on the edge. If we knock something over on top of the table, it spills. You clean it up, no big deal.
No
but
big
like,
deal.
If it falls
Things
on the floor,
break.
yeah, then you have to clean up the glass from the floor. But my mom, she doesn't change her face. She's like, okay. She just goes and finds a mop and just
Doesn't
cleans
matter.
the glass.
Things break. Who cares?
Exactly.
It's not a broken finger or something like that. It's just a plate.
Yeah.
When you have a child that can't see very well, things change a lot. Things change, and it's great also the people that you meet. Like Christian's friends were amazing along the way. He had so many friends from the Miami Lighthouse for the Blind, from Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, and everybody was visually impaired. So our life was totally surrounded by all this, by the important things that were in life, by what you smell, what you feel, what you hear. Not so much about what you see like our regular life is. People that see, we're so much into beauty and the concept of how physically you're supposed to look. And in the blind world, it's not like that. It's different. It's about knowledge, about learning, about everybody inspiring everybody else with great stuff. Right?
Oh yes, definitely. One of the things that I actually find great is that you lose that whole aspect of I call it the visual ignorance of oh, what are you gonna do without your eyes? Your eyes are your only social stimulation. And actually, when you're talking to people, instead of looking at somebody's face, you still talk to the person, but it's a different type of socializing, because you know that you're paying attention to each other because you're talking. It's not like some people, like when you're sighted, you start nodding. Like there's no nodding. And if somebody sighted comes and nods, we're not even going to notice that you're nodding.
I mean, don't take us wrong. We know 80% of the information that comes to the brain comes through vision, and so many things are visual. But for the blind community, what's important in a conversation is not so much, like he said, the nodding or what you look. You're so much paying attention to what is being said, to the conversation, to the aspect of the enrichedness of whatever you're talking about is important. It's so different than sometimes you get lost in the outside, in the cover, and you don't know what's inside the book so much. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that.
Oh yes, definitely. Judge by the person inside, not just by what's on the outside. That's one definitely big advantage of the blind community, because usually we start talking to somebody, and in the blind community, people start talking, like, oh, the voice is important, the personality, when you meet somebody and the person's nice to you, even if the person has the biggest pimple in the world, you
don't see it,
or even if you're visually impaired and you see it, you may not care, because you've been surrounded by the blind community. So therefore, your visual impairment is, the sighted portion is not as oh my god, they have a pimple, as the normal sighted community. It's more we can see stuff, but we're not so tuned into what sighted people are when it comes to the vision.
Yes, so it's different. So going back to the beginning, what it is to have a blind child in all the stages that have been through Christian, little transitioning from teenage years to adulthood. It's been a great journey. It's been amazing. I've tried traveling with him too, because I always thought the way you learn, it's either reading by books or traveling. When he was little, he touched the snow for the first time, and that was something amazing for him.
Oh yes.
Because the
snow
so
is
very visual, that to see the white snow. So he touched it, he felt how cold it was. And the languages, we went around Europe, and he loved the English from England, the accent.
Yep.
That was great for him, and hearing French and all the different languages around Europe, he loved that.
Oh, yeah.
That was very nice. That was something he learned from so much.
The smells of the different countries is one of the things. I'm like
smell.
the food, like like you never forget, like there's places like when we were in Belgium, there was like a smell of the Belgian waffles, and you remember those memories. But like my visual impairment, I remember seeing a little bit of what's going on, but my main memory is like audio and smell because of my limited vision, and that applies when you're totally blind as well. Like all the memories. When you have a child, is more like audio and video, so audio and smell. So your child may tell you, "Hey, you remember that trip where we ate this, and these people were saying this." You may not remember the words and the smell because your mind tends to collect information mainly by sight. But then, like you both, you and your son and daughter may remember the same thing, but in different aspects. You remember the visual aspect, and they remember the audio and smell aspect.
So the last thing I want to say about having a blind child is that it just makes you see the world with new eyes.
That's awesome. So this has been the video on how does your life change when you have a blind child. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So this is our dog. But anyway, comment, rate, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next video. And thank you to Blind to Billionaire for advertising the channel on his channel. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you're pushing, all these YouTube channels in the blind community. I can't wait, to see what impact, your promotional video does on the blind community. This has been recorded previous to the release of the video, so I want to say thank you in advance. See you in the next video.
You.
Goodbye. Hit the subscribe button and remember to enable the notification bell to get all notifications of blind power uploads. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.